Solda
No.
Dew? Solda Dew?
Sold so SOLDA.
Like Solda Mountain Dew?
Solda Do DO.
Oh,
Kevin
D-O. Solda. Okay.
11, but 1
You
is
sure it's not
so.
Soldado? He's from Mexico.
Oh, maybe.
I'm just throwing it out.
No,
Listen,
I don't know. I'm not very good with.
really,
I'm not Spanish. I'm not good with Spanish. Maybe it is.
I've been talking to a
Soldado
lot of
Kevin. So that could
Brazilian
be
people lately.
no, but
so.
that's a good point. So I read it. You
Solda
translate.
Dew.
Oh my god. Soldado Kevin. Soldado.
Jesus Christ.
Guys, I've been drinking. All right, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Game Wild Live. Yes, that's what I said, live. So if you are lucky enough to figure out that we don't record the podcast at the same time every week, apparently, that you may catch us live. If not, you will catch us at our regular time on Monday on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube after 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Listen, we're busy people, all right? All right, sometimes it's Saturday, sometimes it's Sunday, but that's what's good about the podcast, right? The podcast you can always rely on every single Monday. Well, at 4 a.m. technically it goes live on the podcast apps, but
right.
Every Monday you can expect it, and 2 p.m. is the
I
video
don't
on YouTube,
think
so.
any of our listeners are up at 4 a.m., so
You never know.
Not
hey,
worried
just
about
in case we had some early birds going to work early, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, if they're going to work early, it's probably around 6 o'clock, so it's already out there. So, guys, just so you know, I've had a drink tonight, so it could get a little saucy.
And we're talking
saucy.
about Xbox and PlayStation.
And
so
we're
this might not end well.
talking about Xbox. Well, listen, guys, the question really should be, is Xbox the people's video game company? But before we do that, we actually have to go to the question of the week, because the question of the week isn't that, although maybe it should be.
Uh-oh.
The question of the week is, what streamers are you watching right now that are not me or SJW? Because
Ooh,
we obviously know you're watching us if you're listening to the podcast, because you are dedicated to us, and we appreciate that. So with that being said, I'll start off. I haven't done a lot of watching streams lately, but I have watched Stash Deke. He is really good. He's a really good friend of the podcast.
Is it Stash Deke or Stash-tastic?
Stash-tastic. I call him Stash Deke, but I think it is Stash-tastic. I'm sorry, Stashy. I call him Stashy. He's actually live right now playing Dead by Daylight as we look at our screens.
Hey, shout out.
So maybe when you're done listening and watching this podcast, you can jump off we can raid Stashy and go through. But I watch, and he's really the last person I've watched, to be honest with you, if I'm being 100% transparent. I just haven't had time, nor have you. So what about you?
I mean, so anytime I do have, as far as technically I watch the Riot, channel a lot just for the NALCS.
That's
so I
fine.
can stay up on my. Well, no, I don't want to use that though. All right, so I'm gonna go with. Well, as of recent, I actually just subscribed to a fellow Legends of Runeterra player who is very much in the scene, the competitive community, always participating in tournaments and doing super good in tournaments. The one and only Fresh Lobster. And I don't think you've actually heard of him or seen him. So two things with Fresh Lobster. First thing, his logo is the Red Lobster logo with red crushed out, and he puts fresh there.
Nice.
And it looks so funny. And secondly, he has the bangingest stash on all of Twitch. His mustache is like one of those that prevalent.
Whoa.
Stash. Oh, we gotta have a Stash-tastic.
We gotta have a Stash-tastic versus a Fresh Lobster.
Ooh. Oh, I haven't seen Stashes in a while.
Stashy is doing right. Stashy's there, buddy.
Well, I'm gonna go check out his stash.
Go jump onto his stream and say we're streaming the podcast right now, and that we need to have a a stash off.
Stash off between Fresh Lobster and Stash-tastic. All right, it's loading at ads, stupid ads. But yeah,
stupid ads. You're not subscribed to him. Come on,
Fresh. I think I was before.
Support Stashy. But yeah, we
Fresh
will
Lobster.
tell him that's happening. But Fresh Lobster versus Stashy, the mustache battle of the century.
Oh, that'd be funny if you could actually get that.
Guys, I want to actually do something that I haven't done before as well, since we're talking about just like streaming in general. So I started streaming again regularly, and I've been playing different types of games. Monster Train's been one of them. There's another one.
Game. Oh my
Atreus,
God. Okay, yep.
Lord of the Dead. I've actually been playing. I'm actually in the final boss, and I'm smashing my head against the keyboard because he is so hard. But I want to give a shout out to someone who was on my stream on Thursday night. He came on. New guy. He's from Mexico.
From Mexico, okay.
He's from Mexico.
I like it.
And he was nice enough to give me a follow and say that he would check out our stream and check out our podcast. So I want to give him a shout out. It's Solda Do Kevin 11.
Wait, Solda. I thought you were gonna say Soldier Boy. Solda Do. So
SOLD.
Like Solda Mountain Dew.
Solda Do DO. Kevin.
D-O. Solda. Okay.
11, but 11.
You sure it's not Soldado? He's from Mexico.
Oh, maybe.
I'm just throwing it out.
No, listen, I don't know. I'm not very good with. I'm not Spanish. I'm not good with Spanish. Maybe it is.
I've been talking to a lot of Brazilian people lately.
No, but that's a good point. So, I read it. You translate. Oh my God. Solda Do Kevin.
Jesus Christ.
Guys, I've been drinking. So say it again.
Soldado.
Kevin.
Yes.
1. Big ups to you, my friend, for coming on my stream.
Appreciate the support.
Like having a conversation with me too. Interested in the game.
This was for Eridus?
Yep.
And isn't that game? Is it still in beta or something, or what's going on with that game right now?
It's totally 100%
okay.
Full out of early access. I may have even said the name wrong, so that's just me. I don't know how to pronounce game names apparently, because I think it is Eridus, and I said Atreus.
So you never took Spanish in high school, did you?
I did take Spanish, and I was actually very good at it.
Wow.
And then I just had a teacher that I disliked, and I think it just totally like turned me off from the whole situation. Anyway.
All right. So, anyways, past Soldado.
The fact of the matter is, big ups to him for coming on board, having a conversation with me, engaging. I wish more people would do it because we have a lot to say, and it's a lot of fun. And he took the time to try to find our podcast.
Yeah.
And because he uses an Android, so he should be listening to us on Google Podcasts. I sent him the link once I found it. But he was very nice, and I just wanted to give him a shout out. Sorry if I butchered your name, but SW was here.
All right. Sold to do. We're going into the next thing now. Which the reason why we asked the question of the week for what streamers are you watching right now is really just so we could segue into this quick note on Dr. D, which otherwise known as Dr. Disrespect, who I'm sure many of you, and if you guys, if you've been living under a rock, then you have no idea what's going on right now. Hopefully that's not the case. We have so much news that's been popping with Dr. Disrespect, and essentially ever since Twitch banned him, there's not too much that's come up, but what we did want to mention was he did get interviewed by a couple different people. He did actually mention, and I don't know if you read this or not, but in one of the interviews, he did actually mention that he sent Twitch the email. There's a specific email address they have for like people for stuff like this, and he sent that email and asked, hey, what's up? Like these features are missing on my account, because slowly they started taking away features on his account, and they just responded with, you're banned. And he's like, well, why?
Why?
They just like, you're banned. So from his words anyways, they didn't really provide too much insight as to why he ended up getting banned. So it is what it is. But he has released a couple of YouTube videos, one of which is, God, he's got to be a genius. Like he must just be like a marketing genius, because he's got this like dreary looking mythical, like mysterious, he's in the dark, you can't really see his face, and it's just the camera zooming in on him, and he's got this music playing that like is saying words that kind of go along with what's happening with him right now, but don't really, because they contradict each other. So it's just like this mind F of like, what the hell's going on? And he did say that he's probably going to pursue some legal action on his own part. So I know a lot of people were concerned with all the sexual harassment stuff going on right now. Maybe it's that route. Maybe it's something bad for Dr. D. But I think Dr. D, personally, this is my opinion, is going to be fine. We'll see what actually comes from it all. But, just unfortunate.
Well, he apparently has like a TV deal and stuff like that, so he's going to be pursuing stuff outside of streaming. He'll be fine. He's just fine. He's not fine. Don't worry. If he touched a woman, it's fine.
He's still got a TV deal. It's okay.
He's got a TV deal. I hear all those people do that anyways, so apparently he's in the right crowd.
Oh, low blow.
No. So, now off to better things. And nicer things and special things. Some people might not like this. Some people might like this. But Xbox is not going to have any specific first-party titles exclusively on the Xbox Series X at launch. Which means, for all those who don't know, Halo, games like that will also be on the Xbox One. So, if you have been affected like most Americans have, and may not be making the same type of money you were making before COVID and stuff like that, you may only have your Xbox, and you still want to enjoy some games and stuff like that, and you may not have $500 to drop on an Xbox Series X speculative price. But
listen, if you have $500 to spend on an iPhone, you have $500 to buy a new system. I'm just saying, we got lots of people that are hard up buying iPhones.
We don't know what people are doing. So The bottom line is they may spend that $500 on the iPhone so they can keep their Xbox One and play Halo Infinite on Xbox One. But
okay, fair.
The interesting part, and the reason why we're asking a question of like, is Xbox becoming the people's video game company, is because they're thinking about the consumer. They're taking a avenue in which they're like, listen, we don't want to force the consumer to have to buy our new products to get our new or updated IP. We want people to be able to play our games with products they currently own without having to force someone into it. Now, this hurts early adopters, obviously, in the fact of saying, oh, I got to play Halo Infinite first because I got an Xbox Series X on day one. But honestly, that's not why you buy it. And it has never been the reason why I buy the new systems. I mean, obviously, this is kind of the first time this has really happened where there were no specific, hey, you can only get this day one on this system.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a first. I don't remember this ever being the case where they did not have one specific title on the new system only.
And this concerns me a little bit on the part of Microsoft, because I think this is a cop-out with them being... Yeah, I think this is like... Okay, did you hear what he's trying to say, though, as to why there's no exclusives?
Well, no, it's because he wants people to be... Once again, it comes down to the fact that they're shifting the focus of the company, okay? The focus of the company is going to be subscription-based, which we will get into in our next topic, right? And the way you keep subscribers is not by saying, hey, buy our newest system. It's by, hey, if you still have our older stuff, you can continue to enjoy our older stuff. Just continue to keep on a subscription base, which is honestly not horrible and is a little bit more consumer friendly.
Okay, so what this tells me is that long term, Microsoft moves entirely to the cloud, never makes another system again, and has a subscription-based access to their games network. This is what that tells me, which means they're not going to have hardware anymore. And I think that's a little ahead of the game. But I'm not against that. I think that would be a good business model, like you said, having subscription. I think business-wise, it's pretty sound. However, I think that reason for why they don't have exclusives, them using that reason and not having exclusives now is a cop-out. Like, that's bullshit in my eyes.
Nope.
You're going to tell me you're going to have a next-gen console and literally have no reason to buy it on release and say it's because you care about the people.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Let's go through this again, okay? Because obviously you're missing the point, okay? Big time missing the point, brother.
All right,
All right, you're missing the point of the fact that the games are actually enhanced on the newer system. They load faster, They have better graphics, things like that. There are enhancements to it, i.e., some things that I've heard. For example, in the next generation Madden 21, which we've talked about in previous, they are using the processing power of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 to sync with the NFL in their next gen statistics. Now, if you're not familiar with what the next gen stats are, is that the NFL has decided to put microchips inside their shoulder pads, in their helmets, and what this does is it helps get better statistics out of their players. So, for example, last year, the fastest person in the NFL to have a rushing touchdown was Matt Breida of the San Francisco 49ers. He ran over 21 miles per hour on a touchdown run. Okay? He was checked at over 21 miles per hour.
But that's the game. I don't think that's the system.
No, it's not, because they specifically had mentioned it in one of the articles I read that it is not capable of processing that situation on the older systems.
Okay, now is that going to be for this Madden coming up in August?
That's what they're saying, Madden 21.
So you're saying that Madden 21, theoretically, on the older systems will not be able to process those real-time statistics, but on the newer system, the same Madden will be able to process those newer statistics.
That's what I've been reading, yes.
Okay, all right. So that would be one reason to buy, if that actually happens, which I don't think it will.
Right, but
that's one reason.
The point is the reason why is because the system is so much more powerful than the older system. You also have to take into account that you're talking about 10 years between systems, basically.
There's no reason to buy it.
Yes, there is.
What's the reason? That's one reason is Madden and enhanced graphics.
That I know of. That's one reason that I know of. That doesn't
but there's no game. There's no actual, like, solid, oh my God, I can't do what I want unless I buy this system. And that's where I think, like, I don't understand from a business perspective why you would do that. We're going to release a new system, but you guys don't need it. That seems like a counterintuitive marketing plan. Like, okay, here, brand new system, we're going to spend a shit ton of money, but, like, if you guys don't want to buy it, that's cool. We're still supporting the older one anyways, so don't worry about it.
Right. You want to know what, though? Are you going to buy it?
Okay, so we need to segment markets here, because there's going to be certain people that buy a new system regardless just because they want every system. Like, I collect systems too, so that's different. So just like you could say there's a market for people that will buy it just for the enhanced graphics. But now you're limiting yourself to just those core gamer because those are very much core gamer markets. Nobody that's not a core gamer gives a shit about enhanced graphics or just having the system to just put it on their shelf. That's only core gamers. Now, if you want actual, like, somewhat gamers, they just are interested in gaming, they really like this game or XYZ or whatever, that's how you get them, is with quality titles, with grade A titles that are only exclusive to that console. That's been gaming. Look at Nintendo. Yeah. Why is Nintendo successful?
Because they have their own specific games that are only on their system.
Exactly. That's literally the only reason Nintendo's successful.
But the point of the fact is that if the Switch had a counterpart to itself and Nintendo said, hey, the next Mario game will also be on the Switch, but will be also on our next gen, people aren't going to bat an eye and say, oh, well,
look at the Wii U. Look at the Wii U. The Wii U was the worst system Nintendo's released since, GameCube? Right? It might have even done worse than that. So, like, I liked it. I didn't mind
some revolutionary titles on GameCube.
Yeah, I know. But, like, the Wii U did terrible, and it was for a very similar reason, because it didn't offer anything different from the Wii.
Well, yeah, in that case, yes, but I'm telling you, but Wii U probably had titles that were exclusive to the Wii U.
Yeah, exactly. They did have some exclusivity,
but
and they still sucked.
Right, because they were trying to continue on a fad, and the fad was over.
The Wii, yeah.
Okay,
no, I agree.
But Xbox Series X is not a fad. It's just like any other system, except for it's better. Okay, you're not gonna.
I don't know, man.
No one's gonna win this argument here.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you right now, bud.
Listen, all I'm saying is we have Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and we have Horizon that are both going to be exclusive on release. Those are two insanely huge games. On that alone, I feel like it's so incredibly easy to predict that the PlayStation will now outsell the Xbox because, like, on release, you know, you never know what'll happen in the future. But like, it's just easy. That's just like simple. We have more content to provide you, and content is king nowadays. Xbox has nothing to provide, but hey, they look a little bit prettier.
No, listen, there is content though. That's what you're missing in all this, is that there is games that are going to be out that you can play on the Xbox Series X.
And yes,
you can play them on the Xbox One. Yes. Okay. Yes, you can. But there are going to be enhancements to those games on the Series X that you may be interested in using. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so let's assume that the enhancements make it so that people do still buy it. They end up selling, you know, relatively equally. I still think that the response that they gave as to why they're doing this is a complete cop-out, because I think that in the future, yes, not having a physical hardware system and having a subscription-based service, incredibly smart from a business perspective. But using the fact that you think like, oh, you're doing gamers a favor by making it so they don't have to buy the next system because there's no exclusive games on it, that seems like such a bullshit excuse as to why they don't have no exclusive games.
But like, here's the thing, they could though. Like, this is where you're missing
the point. They probably will, like
they
3 or 6
No, they will.
They
said they will. But to launch, they're not. And that's my point. They could easily do what they've done in the past. Halo, the AAA.
Oh, yeah. When is that supposed to come out, by the way?
They're talking about it coming out at launch. I mean, we're going to find out.
That was the other thing. Oh, that's right. It's coming out. And that was the other thing, because I heard this and I was like, wait, what about Infinite?
They're going to show Infinite on Wednesday.
Yeah. Which, that actually struck me as odd when I first read this story, because I thought Infinite was coming out when the system dropped.
And I think that's going to happen.
So then,
but it's also going to be on the Xbox One if you want to buy it for the Xbox One.
Oh, wait. So maybe when they say exclusive, are they they're referring to a 100% designed and developed exclusively for that system? It's not on the older system at all? Because is Horizon not going to be on PS4 at all?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Horizon. Oh, and Spider-Man Miles Morales won't be. Okay, so that's what they meant. Yeah, and okay, so then the point still stands then, because it's just going to be on both systems anyways. Yeah, it's still going to be on both systems because everybody can get Infinite for the Xbox they have. Why spend $550 when you can spend $50?
Exactly, because give the people what they want.
Because they care about games.
Because they care.
I don't know, man.
It's going to be $60, not $50.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know where you've been.
Oh, actually, so speaking of that, so a little segue. As far as the prices are concerned, I did actually catch an article. I don't want to discuss it too long, but just to kind of, because we did discuss the whole $70 that we saw NBA 2K1 have previously. And Microsoft did also release a statement on that saying that, and this kind of echoes what we thought when we talked about it, saying that the players will decide ultimately the prices of the game anyways, which basically translates to the market decides the price of the games, which basically translates to, you know, everybody's just going to price their game whatever they want to price it, and if it doesn't sell, then it's going to go down, and if it does sell, it's going to, you know, so so that makes sense. I think that we're just no longer at a standard of $40, $50, or $60. I think it's just, listen, if you spent a crap ton of time developing this game, you can charge a bunch of money. If you are an indie developer and you coded some 2D game, charge $10. So
yeah, I hear you.
All right, so we're gonna go on arguing forever about that.
Yeah, it's been quite a battle between us. And so segueing into the next topic actually continues with Xbox, and the 12-month subscription for Gold is gone. Now, what does this mean? So if you go on Xbox's website or you try to buy Gold the yearly subscription is no longer available. Apparently, the other monthly subscriptions are available 3, 6 months, and month to month as well. But they removed the 12 months, and they did state that this was on purpose.
Yeah.
And the idea, the speculation is that they are going to be moving into something where they're going to package everything together in one piece, whether it's Ultimate Game Pass, which includes everything for a yearly price for like one lump sum, or pay it monthly or buy the subscriptions in pieces. You can do that. I think that's really what they're trying to do, which goes back to the point of what SJW is trying to push and saying that it's not that they care about the people. It's just that it's a marketing strategy. It's BS, blah, 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 blah.
I think short term it is.
But I think they're just trying to think ahead of the curve, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure how much being ahead of the curve has actually helped anyone in video games, because I can mention the Sega Dreamcast, for example, ahead of its time, not successful at all.
Even the PS3 was supposed to be like this great thing with Blu-ray and
faltered, but the PS3 faltered due to price point. They came out
again because I think they overspent for future technologies on the hardware side. They had the cell chip, right? Was supposedly the processing chip in there.
Crazy process.
Way overpriced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, at the end of the day, this is just what they're trying to do, and I think they're trying to help people out. Honestly, I think you're too negative, which is surprising because you've been and of course there is greed behind it, I'm sure, but they're doing it in a way where it looks like, listen, if you don't have the money, you can still buy the game and not have to buy the big system. You might miss out on a few things that the other system has, but you'll still get a gameplay experience that is AAA in Microsoft's eyes, especially if you're going to go for Halo.
Well, here's my... I don't want to think that Microsoft is not all for the gamer, right? And I think that this mindset has gone back and forth over multiple generations of video game, just all the console generation wars is always who's about being for the gamer. PlayStation, I think, back towards the PlayStation 4 when it first came out, they really pushed like we're for the gamer, by the gamer, whatever. Everybody's always trying to push that, and I want that to be the case. My whole thing, right, is I've played enough games now, and I always use Riot as an example because I truly think that Riot is one of the best game companies out there right now that truly cares about the quality of the game and the people who play it. And when they do something, when Riot does something, you can tell they're doing it to help the game and the people playing it. When Sony and Microsoft, or even Nintendo, I'd say Nintendo, actually, I give credit because I think Nintendo is almost always, undoubtedly, you could say they're always for the gamer. It's very easy to get that vibe from Nintendo. I don't know if that's just ingrained in us because they've been like this kid-like type persona since we've known them, but Xbox and Sony always have given off that businessy vibe, no matter what. So it's hard for me when I hear something from Xbox or Sony about why they're doing something. I always just assume that they have a PR group that released that statement. That's not actually what's trying to happen. There are some things that I think that they do that are better for, everybody. So we'll see. I mean, this subscription thing, I think actually does... It supports what they said about being for the gamer with not requiring the purchase of a new system, because what that shows is that they're just going to give you a subscription to Microsoft or Microsoft Gaming or whatever they call it, and you have access on whatever Microsoft piece of hardware that you have. Right. Kind of like when you have a PC and you buy a subscription to Word. Doesn't matter what hardware you're running on, you have access to Word. And I think that this is in line with that, so it does show that from a business standpoint. Everything is in line and working, together in tandem. But I just think from the exclusive standpoint, I think that they are trying to save money by not having exclusives on release, and the reasons that they're giving for that are just not. They're going to lose up front, and that's
how are they saving money when they're producing it on both systems? If anything,
I don't know.
It's 100%. Counterintuitive to produce it on both systems.
I think it's counterintuitive to release a system and not have exclusive games when it releases. There's no reason to buy it.
Unless you have a different strategy, which is what they've stated, that they're looking more on the ability of trying to get more consumers on a subscription or on Xbox's services.
So what do you think is their target lifespan for the Xbox Series X? Because I think, previously there's been 10-year lifespans on these systems?
I think it still falls within 5 to 10 years. And the reason I say that is because if they're going to go the route of being cloud-based, they have to learn from the falls of Stadia and things like that. And I think that's what they're going to.
I'm sorry. Who? You said who? What?
Stadia?
Wait.
Yeah.
Stadia? How do you wait?
Stadia?
Is that a French thing?
I think so. It's definitely not Spanish.
Wait, guy, do we have any new games coming out for Stadia this week?
Stadia.
I mean, we need new games for Stadia.
We'll find out. We will find out shortly.
You know what's funny? The little amount of games that have actually released for Stadia whenever we do that segment. I think there's been one every month.
Well, based upon your thought process, it's because they have a plan.
Yeah.
They're not for the consumer. Stadia's for the consumer, guys.
Oh, God.
So let's move on to SJW's favorite system, the PlayStation 5.
All right, don't sit there and try to sell me as biased, okay? All right, what is this? What are you trying to pawn off to the listeners and the viewers here? This is BS.
I don't know. Listen, if you've been listening to the podcast since day one, by the way, we are past the midway point of our podcast year.
Hey,
over
do some victory
20 over 26 episodes now, right? So that's, we try to do one a year. Wow, one a week. So that's
what a year. Damn, that's a pretty shitty podcast,
man.
That's
a pretty shitty podcast.
Okay.
It's got a lot in it. So 52 hours of your life are going to be spent with us for the most part, and so we thank you for that. So you would be able to listen.
It's depressing when you put it like that.
Well,
it's kind of depressing.
Maybe more if you listen to it and then watch it on YouTube or watch us live.
It's 2 hours.
To see how he cuts everything together.
Oh, man.
Like how I used to watch Sports Center and then watch the next hour and try to see if anything was different when I was younger. I did that.
Dude, that was never different.
It was never different, but you're like, I'm going to catch something different. Someone's going to freaking wipe their nose, and I'm going to be like, they record it live every hour. So
they're just robots.
Anyways,
robots. Repeat, yeah.
The pre-orders for PlayStation 5 will not be a surprise. Basically, there was a lot of speculation last week. Very, very heavy speculation that Monday was going to be the day where Sony was going to say, pony up, guys. It's time to pay the piper. Pre-order our PlayStation 5. And then Amazon came out on Monday and released a pre-order splash page where it's like, hey, look at this sexy system. Look at this camera. Look at this. Look at that. You can pre-order this soon. Yep. So Sony's come out with a statement and says, listen, guys, we're not going to give you 2 seconds to pre-order this. You're going to have plenty of advance notice to say this is when you need to click the button. And I'm happy about that because I've been nervous. I have email alerts about the Xbox and the PlayStation because I don't want to be caught off guard. I don't want to lose my spot because this is going to be the first year that I'm going to buy a system that I'm going to buy online. Like every new system I've ever purchased, I've been at a store and they've handed it to me and I've walked out with it in a bag. But due to the world and how it goes right now, this is probably going to be the first year that I'm going to go and pre-order it online. So, yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking in that sense because I've never missed a system that I wanted to buy on day one.
So you've never pre-ordered a system ever?
No, I've always pre-ordered a system. I've never pre-ordered a system online. I've always gone to a store and I've given them money and I said, I would like to pre-order this product and pick it up in your store on launch day. This is going to be the first time that I'm probably not going to do that. I'm going to buy it online, through some online reseller, whether it be Amazon or a Best Buy or a GameStop, depending on where I can get it. But I'm physically not going to go into a store and have somebody ring me out and say, here are all your accessories. Here's your system. enjoy. This is gonna be the first time I'm not gonna do that, and so it's gonna be interesting because I really want to be in the mix to be able to make sure that I get a copy of the system when I pre-order it. So
yeah, I actually usually don't pre-order at all. I usually just, like, for the PlayStation 3, I waited in line around like a Best Buy or something for like hours with a tent, because back then, like, we were in high school and it was like the super cool thing to do. Like, I was like the first one with the first iPhone that ever came out. Like, that was exactly what I wanted. So I would wait in line, and everything after that, yeah, I just show up and buy it. I think let's see, I bought a PS3 on my own. The PS2, anything before PS3, I got as like a gift, probably from like, for like Christmas or something like that, from parents and whatnot, because I was younger. But yeah, I just walk into the store and I end up buying it. So I'll probably pre-order this one though, because of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was working at a video game store, I've been part of the Xbox 360 launch, the Wii launch, the PlayStation 3 launch. So I've been there. I've seen what it's like, and I remember still, like, one of the funniest memories I have is that I decided to, like, late buy an Xbox 360 because I wasn't gonna buy it on day one, and one of the guys still had one left at his store. I was like, yeah, I'll just buy it. So I still remember, because we were going to open that morning. So the guy who was opening with me, he slept over my house, and we played Perfect Dark Zero on the Xbox 360 because we bought a couple, we bought some games and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's just interesting that it's not going to be like that for the first time. And
now, me and you, we were thinking, speaking of the pre-orders and stuff, we were thinking about doing a live thing for the Xbox stuff on Wednesday. Now, do you think, two things since we're on this topic, do you think that Xbox will actually release a price on Wednesday? And in tandem with that, if they do release a price, or if they don't, either or, do you think PlayStation will finally, at least by the end of July, release a price and a date?
Listen, I don't even know what to expect anymore. It's called the Xbox 2020, I guess, and that they're gonna have they're gonna show games off, just kind of like what PlayStation did. I don't know if they're gonna go any further than what the PlayStation did by releasing a price or a pre-order date. If I'm PlayStation and I want to troll them, I probably release a pre-order date during the Xbox thing to pull viewership away if they want to troll Xbox. Which would just be beautiful, because, like, there's nothing better than a little bit of a gamer war of some kind. But I'm so pumped for Wednesday, mainly because the fact that it's like we haven't seen anything really from the Xbox Series X yet, and we're going to PlayStation got to it first. Let's see how Xbox makes up for what PlayStation did, and see what they can push to it. It's going to be really, really exciting, and I can't wait for that to happen. And yeah, we're gonna try to live stream it.
Wait, what time is that again?
I believe they're shooting for Wednesday around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but keep a lookout on our social media.
Okay.
To find out when everything is actually going to happen. But I believe the last things I heard were that they were shooting to do something on July 22nd in the middle of the day. So
sweet. Yeah, dude, I am very much looking forward to that. Anything with the Xbox or PlayStation right now, I am on top of, because I am just like fiending. That and Dr. Disrespect. Every day I'm just like, any news? What's going on? And Shroud and Ninja. So, all right. So I wanted to bring up, because we got through those a little bit faster than I thought.
Sure.
I have a question. Have you heard of a Gamer Girl?
Sounds familiar.
Oh no, you would remember this because it just happened, and oh my God, it's memorable.
Then the answer is no.
All right, so I'm gonna throw this up for everybody so that you can watch it as well. And for the podcast, we can just talk a little bit.
Oh wait, hold on a second. Is this the YouTube girl?
No. Not. It's not an actual person. As weird as that sounds.
Okay, because there is a gamer girl who is on YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's different. No, that's different. So
Okay,
let me.
right.
I'm gonna throw up this window capture and actually let me see. I'm gonna actually share my screen with you on Discord so you can see what I'm seeing. All right. So let me share this with you. And this is let's just say, and this was PlayStation that did this, okay? And they done fucked up. They done messed up. Because this is such bad timing for this to actually happen. So or to put this out here. So let me expand this for everybody. Fit to screen. Can you see it all right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this here.
It's a YouTube video?
Oh yeah. Well, it's a YouTube video from another so you'll see. Here you go. All right. This is they released a tweet with this game. This is a game called Gamer Girl. Meet streamer Abby Cake 99. For anybody listening, she's got her tits out and everything streaming.
Well, hold on. It's not like it's not like totally out there. Just
it's not like nude, but like she's, she looks like your typical streamer girl if anybody were to ask what they look like. So this is a confusing game. This is a game.
Become Potter for life.
You are the moderator. And she asks you, the moderator, what she should do. And this guy is actually reporting on it. And if you keep going through it, you basically are the moderator of her chat, and she has guys harassing her in the chat. This is like legit real life. Like we were talking before about how girls have a lot of problems with people in chat if they're streamers. And eventually, if we fast forward here, she goes to this boat, and then it turns into like this murder mystery where you don't know what happens to her. It's like she gets attacked and she just screams. Like she could be getting murdered. She could be getting raped. Like there could be, see, and then it just ends. And then that's it. That's the preview of the game. That's it. Okay, so now as a gaming company as PlayStation is, and everything that's going on right now with this entire industry, Joe, in your opinion, is that sort of game anything that should be being released right now or being advertised directly by a Sony account?
My God, that is weird. Yeah, I'm speechless. I have no idea.
How many times
to even stay?
How many times have we laughed about like anime girls?
Yeah,
with, like being on covers and everybody clicks it and everybody plays those games. This is like a whole new level. Like that's like
you know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? Night Trap. You remember Night Trap?
No, what's that?
Night Trap was a game on Sega CD. And it was a full motion video game back in those days. Sega CD was like the king of full motion video games. Okay, so
like
basically,
with real people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. So Sewer Shark, Night Trap, games like that. And I implore you to look up Night Trap. I implore you to go.
Should I play this game? Is it that good?
No, it's not that good. It's goes to the segment. So here's the deal. You are a vampire hunter.
Okay. I like where this is headed.
Okay. And you believe you're part of like this team or something, right? And these vampires are going into this slumber party to kill all of these girls at the slumber party. And you're supposed to trap them all and save the girls. So you're a voyeur. You have video cameras in all the rooms.
You're a voyeur.
You're
a voyeur vampire.
No, you're not the vampire. You're trying to protect them.
You're trying to protect them from the vampire. Okay, not a voyeur vampire. All
and
right,
so you have to capture them in traps.
Oh my God! And what are the traps?
Night Trap. Like
legit traps, or are these like
like falling through a floor because like you hit the button and the trap goes.
Okay, so that is very similar.
So you have to hit it just right at the right time for the game to trigger the proper thing, and if you miss, the girl gets captured or killed or whatever.
But like, I mean, everything that's going on right now with how many people are stepping down.
Listen, it's not a good idea to do something like this that makes it too real. There's a difference. I get, listen, it's art, it's a game, but yeah, it's too weird. It's like,
from a PR standpoint, that's like the worst possible game to release right now, right? That's got to be like, how do you market that game? Now, here's the curveball, right? Does that get, because of everything going on right now, does that game actually do better because of the infamous behind it? Because everybody always says like infamous and being famous, same thing, right?
Well, someone wants to try it now. Like people, it piques the interest of the person. Like, what am I going to do here? What's the game going to be like? Yep. It's just it. I'm sure it's going to capture somebody's like, oh, I got to try that game.
Well, it's already got people talking because they tweeted it and then they took it down like 15 minutes later because it gets such a bad response.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's not good at all, but it's gonna. You know what? Somebody thought about it. There's been plenty of things that have been inappropriate that people have pushed out. So I mean,
that was one of the tweets they put up of somebody in response. Though, is I refuse to think this is real for my mental health. Like there's so many bad tweets.
It's not. Yeah, of course, absolutely. So.
Oh man. So I thought that was neat.
Well, let's talk about something positive because you've been talking about so much negative shit today.
Hey, all right. You're just mad.
CW's nighttime is not the right time apparently because he just is so negative at night. We usually record these during the day.
That Microsoft doesn't have exclusives on release for the new console. You're just mad. You're taking it out on me.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's it. That's me. But you know what I'm not mad about? The people's favorite segment of the week, Ruffhouse Deals.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
Here we are. So guys, if you haven't already, download Torchlight 2 on Epic Games Store. It is available until July 23rd, and then the new games. Me too. And then the new games are coming out. What new games are coming out, might I ask? Well. Next up, Hero.
What? Oh wait. What do you mean new? Wait, what do you mean new game? I thought you were asking me what new games are coming out. Like you're already tossing it over to me. I was like, damn, that was a quick segment.
No. New games, as in what new free games are coming out for you, dude, on July 23rd.
Okay. All right. You get clarified, man. You get clarified.
Oh my god, I haven't even mentioned a game yet. My god. Next up, Hero is a dungeon crawler featuring hand-drawn heroes that hack / bongo drum, boomerang, and jet their way through ventures. Choose your hero and start rolling dungeons, gearing out, and maxing your stats. Free on July 23rd on the Epic Games Store. Next up, we have Tacoma, an abandoned space station, a mysterious AI, and you. The crew of the lunar transfer station Tacoma were going about their workday lives when disaster threw them into chaos. Discover what fate awaits them in Fulbright's bold and innovative follow-up to Gone Home. Free on the Epic Games Store on July 23rd. Now, listen, I've been giving you a lot of free stuff, and it's been easy for me to find because I'm part of the Epic Game Launcher, so I see all this stuff. But I did come across some other stuff that if you want to pay for, it's available, and it's on sale, guys. So if you're a Sim fanatic, The Sims 4 is currently doing a blowout sale of all of their DLC, where you can get up to 50% off on all DLC, basically. There is no, from what I can see, date where this is going to end, so I can't say whether or not this will still be available when we actually release this podcast, although all indications state that this may be going till the end of the month. So if you are a huge Sims 4 fanatic, or were able to get Sims 4 for free, if you followed my social media, I did post it back when it was free. You can now spend money on the game by buying the expansion packs and the DLC for 50% off. So get at it, people. If you're a Sims fanatic and you want it to go, you can get it 50% off. Speaking of The Sims, and since you wanted to throw stuff in that we weren't planning about talking about, they are apparently developing a TV show where people are going to be playing.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to happen, people. It looks like streamers are going to go head to head in Sims, and it's going to be a TV show. So, look forward to that.
I honestly, out of all the things they could have made for video games, I'm a little bit disappointed that they went with that. But, you know, I guess I'm not going to complain. It's video games in the mainstream, so anything is a good thing, I guess.
Who's going to be commentating the Sims battle? And he'd be like,
God,
he was able to take the door out. This Sim has no get out, and it has to go to the bathroom.
And he's going in for the kiss.
The Sim has just pissed himself. What are we going to do now? So that's pretty much what's going to happen. And I hope that actually does happen, where someone actually says, and the Sim has pissed themselves.
That would be, I'd pay to see that, first off. But second off, I want to say The Sims is a trap. All right.
It is a trap.
Why do you think it's a trap?
Because you play the game and then they come out with this DLC and you're like, oh, I want pets for my freaking Sim. Now I want to be able to be a rock star for my Sim. Now I want to do this and want to do that. Do you know what I used to do with The Sims?
What?
I used to just mod it. So I didn't care about DLC because I would go on these modding sites and I would get different skins for Sims and basically would create like a superhero world where like I'd be controlling like Spider-Man and Venom would be like my next door neighbor and he just pissed me off all the time. Like I did stuff like that. So I really didn't have to buy the expansion packs because I really just got mods for the game and went from there, which is mainly like skins.
Yeah, I messed up. I bought
it.
When we started COVID, I usually don't play Sims that much, but Steph, my girlfriend, had played Sims a little while back, and she, you know, we had nothing really to do during COVID, so I was like, hey, I'll buy Sims for you. So I bought Sims for her. She's like, Justin, why can't I get a dog, Justin? I'm like, oh, let me see. And I didn't really know too much about Sims.
You can get a dog for $19.99.
Yeah, so I was like, well, fuck, it looks like we need the expansion pack. Guess I'm paying $19.99 for an expansion pack. And then
now $9.99.
Justin, I can't go to the club. I thought you could like go out and go to the club.
Justin, why can't I go see this fucking magician?
It's just like every single time there's just another thing. So now I look at this list of all their deals and I'm just like, this is a trap. Like you have not just Sims comes with the ability to build a house. Now they have freaking tiny living. So now they just resold you the game as building a smaller version of the game. Like what the hell?
50% off right now on the Origin Game Store.
Oh,
tiny living.
Oh man. So anyways, okay. So
this podcast is brought to you by The Sims and all their expansion packs that take your money.
Yeah, basically.
Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
All right. So now it's time for.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't you dare say it. Shut up, you dirty mouth. No.
See, he's mean. Everyone, he's abusive and he's mean. It's the game releases of the week. I was just gonna say that. I don't know what he was expecting me to say. Why does he have to be so abusive? Everyone.
All right.
Game releases of the week.
Sorry, I was taking my anger out on how I blew $80 on Sims expansions. All right. Here we go.
No one puts a Sim in the corner.
We have Into the Radius for PC on July 20th. This is a single-player survival shooter for VR veterans. So this is virtual reality. Stalk the Pachorsk Radius Zone, filled with surreal landscapes and dangerous anomalies. Use stealth, climbing, or realistic firearms to explore, scavenge for loot, and recover strange artifacts in an unforgiving dystopian environment. Everybody loves that whole dystopian feel, and you can get that feel on July 20th on Steam.
Love that feel.
Rock of Ages 3, Make and Break. For PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch. Oh, we have one.
Xbox Series X?
No, not Xbox Series X. No, even better. Hold on.
We have a Stadia. We have a Stadia game.
We have a Stadia. I'm using some sound effects here, man. I just whatever to signify that we have a Stadia release. Well, I did the Solid Snake, but then I'm gonna do some coins. No, I don't know, man. What are these sound effects to get you guys excited? I need to revamp them all. I get some more coming down the pipe. But Stadia has a game. It's called Rock of Ages 3: Make and Break. It comes out July 21st alongside every other system. So I guess there's really no reason still to have a Stadia. But if you guys are interested in the game, competitive tower defense. We all love those addictive phone tower defense games. Meets arcade action. It gets rolled up with Ace Team's quirky Monty Python-esque humor. Love that movie. Into one giant creative game for the ages. This time around, you can even make your own levels. It's got a level builder in there too. Nice. Seems definitely a little bit different than some other games that we've seen in the past. Then we got Carrion. PC, Xbox One, and Switch. July 23rd, this bad boy's coming out. And exactly what I thought it was with the word Carrion. Is a reverse horror game in which you assume the role of an amorphous creature of unknown origins, stalking and consuming those that imprisoned you. No reviews or anything yet. It looks like you can download a sneak peek if you want to. We have Dying Light. Hellraid DLC is actually coming out on the 23rd for PC, PS4, and Xbox. And last but not least, not a whole lot of games coming out this week, but we do have Roki. Now, how do you pronounce the O when there's two dots over it? What are those two dots called again?
I have no idea.
They are called... Do you know how to pronounce the O?
No.
Two dots over an O. Called. They're called the... Wow, really?
I'm surprised at this.
You're not even going to believe this. It's called
the two dots?
The dot...
Dotto?
The diureses. No, you're not.
Sounds like it's the bad candy name. Guys, we need a new Reese's flavor. What should we call it? We'll call it the diureses.
Or I think it might be diuresis.
It's an inverted Reese's cup.
Also known as the Trema. I'm gonna go with most people probably call it a Trema. But anyways, the Roki game is an adventure game inspired by Scandinavian folklore of all things. A dark... Wow, my Boston accent came out there. Folklore.
That's a dark folklore, guys. Yeah. We're going to go down to the beach right now. There's a bar there. We're going to have a couple of drinks.
This game's based on some Scandinavian folklore. So
down by a bar. Over by the seaport.
See if I can pronounce the rest of this in Boston. A dark contemporary fairy tale underpinned by touching narrative, an alluring art style, ancient puzzles, and atmospheric exploration.
Hey guys, this game has been brought to you by Wahlburgers. Freaking eat a hamburger. But if you're going to eat a hamburger, eat it at Wahlburgers.
It comes out on June 23rd.
Johnny, calm down. We're going to go to Wahlburgers in a couple of minutes after this podcast is over. Don't worry about it.
When did you get a son named Johnny?
No, that's my buddy who's watching the podcast in the corner.
In the corner, Jesus! You got to tie people down to listen to the podcast.
Well, we don't have anyone live, so apparently yes.
No, I don't know. It says we have viewers, so.
Well,
I don't.
Whatever.
Wait. Actually, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna stalk some people real quick. I'm gonna stalk them real quick.
That's not cool.
I'm gonna. Dinu? Not sure. Honestly, I'm breaking the. Yeah, right. Well, I don't know which ones are bots and which ones aren't a lot of the time. Like I know we all know and love Commander Root, so but he's always around.
He's always on there.
But yeah, so that is gonna be it. That's gonna do it for
today's that's gonna be it, guys. We also forgot to ask everyone to give us a 5-star rating and all that fun stuff. So if you can give us a review, smash that like button, subscribe, follow, whatever you like to do. Ring that bell if you're on YouTube. That's for sure. Anything you want to do to help support the podcast, we appreciate it. We do this weekly at no financial gain. We don't do commercials. We aren't part of a podcast group or anything like that.
You told me I was going to get $100 for doing this today.
eyes.
Wow, I quit. I'm done with this. This is bogus.
It's because we care about the people, and we're giving.
I see what you did there. Okay, I see what you did there.
At some point, we may not care anymore, and we may be sellouts. So, but at this point, care enough. But SJW believes this is all a marketing ploy to be able to sell you guys wall beggars.
I was gonna say, this is brought to you by Game Fuel, the one and only sponsor of every game ever.
Maki Mock is gonna come by the house, and we're gonna have some wall beggars. All right, well, guys, that's it for the podcast. We hope you enjoyed it, whether you saw us live, whether you're watching us on YouTube, whether you're listening to us through your favorite podcast app. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you continue to support the podcast as we grow. We'll see you later, guys. Thank you.
See you later.